So recently we had several brokers who came to us and they had level funding quotes that they wanted to provide to their clients using Benefit Sculptor. And the situation was so interesting that I thought we would share it with you here. Now we have pulled all of the personal identifiable information out of these groups, so that what you're seeing here is just the data, but we're going to show you this is a real life quote. And so this is kind of what the broker experienced when they were using Benefit Sculptor, and this is what the employer experienced as well, to basically show that in this case the level funding option was a slam dunk. It was the right thing for the employer to do. So if you're looking at my screen right here, what you can see is this scatter plot, and you've got these blue dots and you've got these green dots. Now, the blue dots represent the fully insured, your typical ACA, on exchange, off exchange, small group, fully insured products. And the green dots are the 4-level funded quotes. Now, I'm not going to name the carrier. I don't want to make this about carriers and specific products. I really want to make it about the analysis. So what we're showing you here is that these are the 4 options. Now, as you're looking at this, you can see at that actuarial value threshold of about 80. There at the very top, there's that green plan that's at the very top, meaning that it's priced a little bit higher than the rest of the level funded options. One of the things that's interesting to note, that's a PPO, and so that's using a traditional carrier network as opposed to the other products, the other 3 that are below that threshold, which are reference-based products. But this is for the state of Oregon. And this is the layout that the broker gets immediately when they use Benefit Sculptor. Is they get some sort of view like this. So we're showing actuarial value at the bottom, and then we're showing price. This is the group total cost going vertically, and so you get that nice linear relationship between the data, where you're seeing as the actuarial value goes up, the plan strength goes up, or plan generosity is sometimes what it's called, goes up. The price goes up. And the level funded options have been placed in here to show basically how they compare against these product options. And so, as you can see right here, these 3 bottom plans in this level funded quote are really drastically lower than the traditional group products. Now, there are some things we can do to measure this to really get some sort of insight. And so, what I like to do when I'm comparing these plans is I like to find the center point of the data. And so that's what this line is. That's the center point of the data. And that expresses this idea of what is the average cost of a product in this market based upon its actuarial value range here. And you can see we're kind of living in that category of about 80% actuarial value. That's where the level funded options are coming in and quoting. And right there in the middle price is sitting somewhere around $3,500 for this group. There's about 6 employees in the group. So what we can do is we can take some measurements against that and really get a sense of how are these level funded options comparing to the rest of the market. So I'm going to take this lower one first, and what this is telling us here is the distance between that center point line, that center point price, and the cheapest level funded option. That's a 56% price difference. That means that the employees if the employer were to take this product, the employees in this category are going to see a price difference 56% lower than the average cost for products in that same category. Now you might look at me and say, well, Eric, that's fine, but you're kind of measuring that against the middle. We never go that high. We would take something a little bit lower. So we can put another measurement on here, and we're coming down to that bottom that bottom trench, or whatever we want to call it, the line of where those products come in at. Even from there, what we're saying here is the distance from that green dot up to that line is 35.21%. So even if we compared it to the lowest cost fully insured options in this category, the group is going to save 35%. That's obviously money that can be passed on to the employees. That's money that the company can save, etc. And we can walk through this with each of the products. So what we're saying here is for this second option, you're seeing a 41% price difference. And it's important to remember that these plans are in the same actuarial category. So in terms of plan strength, they're comparable to the products in this area. But we'll get into the plan benefits in just a moment. But anyways, what we're saying here is that from the center point line all the way down to that second green dot, it's 41%, and then to the threshold It's at the bottom threshold of fully insured. It's still 22% price difference. And then for the third option, it is at that bottom center threshold. So there's no reason to take two measurements here. And the one measurement shows us that this product is still 36% below products that are similarly priced. So that's all the data looking together. But the reason this is important is because what the broker was able to do is go and sit down and show the employer this, and it made the conversation a slam dunk. So when the employer sees the data like this, they get to see a couple of things. They get to see, how does my product compare to every other product in the market? Not just how does it look on a spreadsheet, how does it look against this option or that option. It answers that question of, what about everything else that the employer always has in their mind? Okay, you brought me these quotes, Mr. Broker, but what else is there? This solves that problem because it answers the question of what else is there, and it's all laid out here. Now, there's some other ways to look at this because we can measure it from the center point line, but another measurement that I like to look at is this one right here. And what we're doing here is we're saying, okay, I call this the actuarial value discount. And it's the idea behind it is you're looking at a level funded option and you're saying, okay, this level funded option is much lower in terms of cost compared to products in its category. So what category is it priced equal to? And what we're saying here is that it's priced if you compare it to the fully insured market, it's actually priced at a bronze level. That's an expanded bronze category. So what we're saying is that this employer, if they go with this option, is going to be able to pay for a bronze plan. They're going to pay in that same category for a bronze plan, but they're going to get a gold plan in exchange for that. So that's the discount. This idea that you're paying for a plan that would really be in the 61% actuarial value, and you're getting one that's this one's at about 81.5%. So that's the discount. This idea is you're paying for 61, but you're getting 80, which is a very strong thing to communicate to the employer. And then we can look at this in terms of each of the other products. So here you're paying for an 80 and you're getting a 64, or you're paying for a 64 and getting an 80. Sorry, and then in this one right here, you're paying for I think that's a 78, and you're paying for a 71 and you're getting a 78. Is about where that one sits. So with that, you're able to communicate this idea to the employer that they're getting an advantage. They're getting a discount by going with the level funded option. It's not just that it's cheaper compared to its range, but you're actually paying for something in a lower range, getting something in a higher range, which is a good sell to the employer because it means to them that they can offer higher quality benefits at a lower price. And then again, that's looking at everything together. Now, one of the questions that comes up as we look at this is there's always the ICRA crowd that's going to come in and they're going to say, well, yeah, but you know what? Screw it. The employer should get out of the benefits business and they should just be offering an ICRA and individual coverage. So let's take a look at what an ICRA looks like. So what we're doing here is we're comparing the individual market to the fully insured market, and we're also looking at these level funded quotes. And we could take some measurements here. We've done that in recent weeks with some reports we put out. I'm not going to do any of the measurements here because visually you can just see through visual inspection. You can look at this report right here and you can see what the story is. The story is that you are getting your individual market is substantially higher than the group markets. So by going to an ICRA, your employees are going to actually get that discount in reverse. It's a penalty. They're going to have to pay more money to get the same quality of coverage that they're getting today. So the level funded option in this case, just looking at the data, not hating on ICRAs for any intrinsic reason other than it's not viable here because the products aren't as good and they're priced higher, and the data tells us that. This is just us being objective. We're not being polemic or opinionated about the market. We're looking at the data, and the data is telling us ICRAs are going to cost us employer more money. The employees are going to get lower quality coverage. So why do we do this? We do this because it helps the employer and the broker see things quickly and clearly to make decisions and understand what kind of risk they're carrying. But what I wanted to show you is how Benefit Sculptor is taking an approach through data to communicate things to employers that they can make decisions from. They can look at this data very quickly and say, wow, I get it. I know what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. I know what it is I want to do for my employees, and they can make a decision that they feel good about that's going to benefit the employees. So I'll leave it there until the next video. Thank you.